What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the hoetohusbandpodcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts with me. I got my man, Jay Babo. What's good with you, bro?
Not much. What's going on tonight, fellas? Looking forward to, once again, another great episode tonight. Shout out to all new followers. Another blue check, man. We definitely see us, so we appreciate all the support. But want to quickly remind you, you can catch us on Grind City TV. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can download it on your Roku TV and also your Google Play app. And also give us a follow on TikTok at hoetohusbandpodcast, as well as give us a like on Facebook. All right, T.
I also have my other co-host on the line. I got my man SD. What's good with you, baby?
Nothing, man. Nothing. I'm ready to get this one going. Real interesting topic, man. I'm ready to get into it. But I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping our background music tight.
Yep.
And I want to remind everybody to donate to the Host to Husband podcast on PayPal and Cash App.
I want to remind everybody y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on the core94.com. We got a real interesting episode tonight. Tonight's episode is called Snatching Her Soul. And so we're going to be focused on pleasing women and helping women reach orgasm. So we got a real interesting guest I'm anxious to chop it up with. But before we get into all that, y'all know how we do it around here. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen trending or on our timeline. And this first topic is very sad in nature, but I think it's necessary. With the recent passing of Atlanta rapper Trouble and the circumstances surrounding his death, we wanted to talk about safety in the dating community. And so with the situation where him being murdered, being caught sleeping in another man's apartment, what were your thoughts when y'all heard about the situation or the details of the situation?
Man, me personally, this is exactly why I don't go to women's houses as a single man, especially to spend the night. Now, I'll go pick a woman up and drop her off, that type of thing. But like me going over and chilling out at her crib, like I just don't do it. I've been in situations like that in my younger days, like in my 20s, where, I was at a chick's house and then a dude come by and banging on the windows and all types of stuff, man. And I got to get up out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm strapped up and I gotta act outside of what I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
right.
Like, I don't want to be like that while I'm outside. But I was a lot younger, so I don't go over women's houses, man. Like, if you can't come to my crib, like, because I have my stuff under control. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, a lot of women don't even think about that aspect of it, but they have there's this negativity towards Netflix and chill or going to a man's crib. But from a male perspective, that's the best environment. You can control the environment. You can make sure, like most guys that are successful with women, set they homes up to be conducive to women. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have bars, they're going to have liquor, they're going to have all the things that it takes to entertain women and even groups of women.
Exactly.
What about you, Jay?
I mean, honestly, this was a real sad and unfortunate situation here. I mean, and you know what? This is more common than people think because we see this on crime TV shows all the time. A situation like this where guy goes over women's house, he spends the night, she has some crazy ex-boyfriend, crazy baby daddy, he gets shot, killed. Now the woman dimes out, the dude that shot him and everything, dude go to jail, other person killed, and she going about her business like ain't nothing happened. That's the crazy part about this.
Yeah, I mean, it can, especially in the hood, man, a lot of situations, you start dating a dude's baby mama, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can be tricky. And it's unfortunate because I saw the woman that was with them when it happened, she's taking a lot of flack for it. A lot of people are blaming her for what happened. But you can only blame the person that pulled the trigger, Obviously, their situation was they had an abusive relationship. From what I read, the week before, he had put his hands on a woman, and that's what caused them to break up or whatever. And From what I read, it said he broke into the apartment, so it sounds
Right.
like the locks may have been changed or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But
I read that
I
too.
never. Yeah, I would say I don't have enough details. I don't really want to speculate or come up with any conspiracy theories. But that's when I hear the phrase "broke in." If they said he just came in or he entered the home, something like that with a key, that would be totally different.
Yeah.
But this remind me of my younger days too. Not necessarily getting caught in I didn't get caught in a woman's house, but I did get caught trying to drop a chick off. Like her man came out the house, and so I sped off when it happened. Right, so I just sped off. So I'm sitting here trying to talk to her like, man, where you gonna go? What you gonna do? Cuz pull up next to us, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of doing like a high speed chase, you know what I'm saying? Like,
damn.
Like I didn't expect that to go down like that, and I didn't have a gun on me or nothing.
Yeah.
So that was one of the. It was very real at that moment. Like, damn, like I never expected a situation like that. But
did you still deal with her after that whole thing happened? Like, what happened after?
Oh yeah. But I never went to her. She had to come to me after that.
You know, you can't just let the sloppy toppy go, man. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta find another spot to do it. But hey, man, that's what it is. But from what I read, as far as this here went, like it said that they had only been broke up for a week. And I'm like, why would you invite a dude to come and spend the night at your home after only being broke up from a dude that's been living there all this time for a week?
Right.
Like, now, and a lot of times they know they dudes be crazy. These chicks know they dudes be crazy. Be staking out the crib and all types of other stuff, man. That's why as a man, you got to be careful with a lot of these women out here too, because they will put you in a position like that, knowing that the dude that they dealing with don't got all his cards, he's not playing with a full deck. They'll put you in a situation.
I don't think a lot of women anticipate a dude going to that level. You know what I mean? Like
I get it.
In this situation, it was they got into a fight and they were scuffling, and then a dude put out a gun. Okay, that's not like. But I've heard of situations where dudes will come in the crib and shoot them both in the bed, and you know what I'm saying, crimes of passion type situations. And it's unfortunate, you know what I mean, because in a situation like this where a woman's single, she can sleep with whoever she wants. So technically, there isn't anything, forbidding him from being there or spending the night, but it's a dangerous situation. Like you like people talk about toxic. Yeah, he drove by my house at midnight. Like, man, somebody following you or stalking their ex. Those are real things that you have to encounter. And so, but it's an unfortunate situation.
It's different because he had just beat her up a week ago.
Right.
So she knows that this dude is not stable. So I'm just saying, like, don't bring no dude to your crib like that. Go meet the man somewhere else to spend the night.
But okay, so let's say devil's advocate. If she got an ex that's stalking her apartment and she followed her to your crib, right? You're in the same danger, or not necessarily the same if you're at your crib, but I'm just saying, like, if nobody's expecting that, if you got some pussy coming through, you're not expecting to have to defend yourself, you know what I'm saying, or be in a life or death situation.
At home, I got guns stashed around my house. I hear my doors kick in, bro. You ain't gonna even get a chance to fight me in my house. You ain't gonna get a chance. You gonna be filled with lead by the time you get up them stairs. So at home, you got comfort there, and you know what I'm saying. You got things to defend yourself. When you going over a chick house, some dudes, you know what I'm saying, they just don't move like that to where they walking around with a gun. And I don't know his past, whether he could have guns or whatever the case. I don't know. But I'm just saying, man, you gotta also know these chicks that you're dealing with out here too.
That's a good point, because you're more vulnerable when you're at her house as opposed to you're in the comfort of your home. But
Absolutely.
you're still in danger. But you're still in danger nonetheless. Because you're still in a position where you're gonna have to defend yourself either way it goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
true, man. It's
at home, I'm way comfortable. A man is way comfortable at his house. You come to my house starting trouble, it's different than me being
the law is different and everything.
Right. Me technically being in your house. You know what I'm saying? Even though the locks might have been changed and they said that he broke in from the police report, it's still a different dynamic to where you have a comfort at home and protection probably more at home than you do at somebody else's house.
I agree.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's there's a lot of in hip hop, especially a lot of fuck your bitch. I wasn't fucking your bitch in Gucci slip. Like there's a lot of rhetoric about that. But man, I know, especially when I was in college in Louisiana, man, dudes are very, very passionate about they say old ladies in Louisiana. So you would meet a 19-year-old chick, and she in a 6-7 year relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they have long-term relationships at a very, very young age, and they're very, very possessive when it comes to women. So that's something where I've always had to deal with dudes that want to fight you because they heard you fuck that girl or that girl cheated with you. Like all that type of stuff comes up. But I never even considered that it was really a situation that could escalate to something like that.
I have, because I've been there. So it's a little different, man. I feel it all the way. I feel like that regardless. If I'm talking to a woman, man, that's just how I feel, period. Like, I just don't want to go to your crib like that. I'll meet you at Fuddruckers or something. I ain't coming to your crib.
I feel that. All right, man, let's keep things rolling, man. This next post got a bunch of traction on my page. This was a video. Seems like it was some clout chasing involved, but I'll let y'all be the judge. This is a woman that accused a guy of being a pervert in the gym based off his reaction to her. Let's take a look.
Trainer gets caught on camera being a pervert, and when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police and revoke my membership.
Okay, I thought so. Keep it pushing.
If you're getting rude, you can leave. Nobody was looking at you any type of way. I don't own the gym, I work here.
Okay.
Yes. And
That
if you're
means
getting
what?
rude, then you can leave.
That means what?
I can call the police and have you trespass right now. Would you like that?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, let him know.
That's what we'll do. So right now, I need you to take your stuff and head up front. Like she said, you can do something. You got
All right, man. Now this appears to be, at least let me know if y'all agree, but in my opinion, this seems like a situation where a woman was trying to bait men into looking like a creep, because I don't feel like a man noticing a woman in some spandex shorts and a sports bra standing up kind of wiggling her ass. I don't feel like that's being a pervert. I think that's something that every guy is gonna notice in a room, especially if she's directly in his line of sight. So I do feel like the dude kind of went overboard, going straight to I'll call the police. So that's the only kind of thing that I feel like kind of went overboard. He said what he needed to say, and I didn't think he needed to take it there. What y'all think about the video?
I personally didn't think he was overboard. And that's because I think she set that up for that specific purpose, to make him look a certain way. That's why she did that. That's why she set that camera up like that. That's why she did that little wiggle. That's why she pulled her shirt off and she looking back and going real slow with the shirt. And then all he did was looked over there and she like, you need something? It's like she was baiting him into some type of confrontation with her to make him look some type of way. When I heard the caption, the little thing, read it like, man, get you caught being a pervert. I'm thinking this here dude finna go smell a seed or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I ain't thinking he just gonna look at the chick. You know what I'm saying? And when I watched it, I was like, what in the world is she talking about? But see, this type of stuff right here happens to a lot of black men a lot of times out in public, where people come up with things. And then, you know what I'm saying, just to bait them into something and then call the police, even though it was him, you know what I'm saying, call the police, but bait them into things to make them look a certain type of way and then try to get them in trouble behind it. So I don't mind him calling the police. I didn't think it was a stretch. She set that up like that. Forget her.
True.
What about you, Jake?
I agree. I didn't see him do anything. Like, I didn't see him harassing her. He wasn't following her, stalking her. He was going about his business. Now, she's taking her shirt off and wiggle. I mean, any guy's gonna look like, all of us has been to the gym and has looked at an attractive woman. You've seen the woman with the fat ass, and we all look and they ain't think nothing of it, right? So I felt like she was trying, like SD said, I felt like she was trying to bait, like, because she was trying to engage him, antagonize him, just the way she said, is there a problem? Can I help you?
She stood there wiggling her ass the whole time. It's like, to me, those are intentional actions that are trying to get more attention.
I think this is what I think she was trying, and I think she was trying to push this whole, black man is the boogeyman kind of nav. Because let me ask y'all this: do you think that would have been the same match that she would have did that to a white person?
Well, the white man on the that was on the bench was staring first.
Right.
He didn't even say anything. Yeah, I think it looked like the guy on the bench was staring, intently, and it seemed like he either, how sometimes you see a dude looking at his fat ass and you just know to look. You see the look, you see it. So that's kind of what I got, because the dude, the guy that worked there, it don't seem like he noticed it until he noticed the other guy looking. And to me, that's natural. If I'm with you, SD, and I see you looking at an ass or looking ass level, I'm looking. You know what I'm saying? Like to see what's going on, because you might only got 2 or 3 seconds to see that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
If you see me do this. You see me rub my eyes like, man, do you see? Then go ahead and turn around, bro, because that's what it is. But hey, look, Shorty was definitely clout chasing, and she posts a man on there like he's a pervert. Stuff like that ruins people's reputations. Man.
Do y'all think that this is something, since this went viral and all that, do y'all think this is something that could be a defamation suit?
It could be. It could be, because she called him a pervert. It's like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying?
The video went viral. I mean, it can potentially ruin a man's reputation. Since he was a trainer, it can get him less clients, less business.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
I think it's gonna hurt her more, because everybody I saw was like, "Come on, lady, you reaching now." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it was just uncalled for, and it was too much, man. So if I was him and I lost clients or lost my job, I would definitely sue her, man. Get that help.
Yeah, I mean, now we not saying that there ain't perverts at the gym. We all know that. We all know that there are dudes that do sexual exercises and stare at women, and that make things uncomfortable. But I definitely don't feel like glancing at a woman, or if she had said that the guy on the bench was being a pervert, I would even say that that's in the gray area. But a lot of the motions and a lot of the outfits in the gym demonstrate sex. They look just like twerking and all the other stuff women do that simulate sex to men. So and we know that men are visual creatures.
I could see all the wrinkles in her booty hole through them shorts. That's how tight them shorts were. And she don't want nobody to look at her. She know what she's doing in there, man. That's why she doing it, man. Get her, man. That's the way I see it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things women do to get additional attention. Sundress with no panties, do different type of things. But then they'll turn right around and complain, "Men are so thirsty." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, which side of the fence are you on?
Exactly.
All right, man. Let's keep things rolling, man. we're gonna try to respond to a couple of questions we got in our DMs. If you are interested in having your question or your situation addressed on the podcast, make sure you hit us up in our DMs and shoot your situation to us. What we got in the inbox this week?
Oh man, we got Isha today, man, from Indy, man. She got a question. All right. So she says, a guy that she talking to didn't buy her a gift or anything for Mother's Day. He took her to Ruby Tuesdays. So she's asking, should she get him something for Father's Day, and should she take him to Morton Steakhouse because that's what she wanted to do for him? But her girls is telling her, don't take him to no Morton's because he didn't take you to nowhere like Morton's. Take that food to White Castle. So and get him a 2-for-2 burger. So what do y'all think she should do?
Well, me personally, I don't think you should ever operate in a passive aggressive way. And doing something for somebody because that's what you want them to do on your birthday, to me, that's passive aggressive behavior. Her being on a different financial level or a level where she eats at upper tier steakhouses on a consistent basis, that's not necessarily something that indicates a guy is a problem. You know what I mean? Like, he might just like Ruby Tuesdays, or it might be near his house, or whatever the case may be. So I don't think that automatically by itself is a problem. I think it's something you can just talk about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a big deal. But I think in the 2022, a lot of women would block and cut a dude off for something. Just taking them to a restaurant they don't deem worthy.
I think what happens in this situation, here's the thing: a lot of women base their desirability based on where a man takes them, or based, a man's value on where he takes her. And he could still be a good dude that took her to Ruby Tuesday. But if you didn't like it, maybe you don't have a taste for Ruby Tuesday. I mean, you could just communicate that to him instead of being passive aggressive. I'm going to be petty and taking him to White Castle, taking him to McDonald's.
I mean,
come on.
But I'm just saying.
What'd you think about it?
I think that, you know what I mean, man. When I do something for a woman, and I'm gonna just put this on both sides, don't matter. When I do something for a woman, man, I do it because I want to do it. I'm not doing it because of what she did for me, what she got for me. I really don't care. I appreciate whatever it is that you do for me. It's not going to dictate what I do for you because that's just what I want to do. So I think that she shouldn't allow where he took her to dictate what she does for him because it's petty. It's tit for tat type of, you know what I'm saying? He didn't take me here. He didn't buy me nothing. So I'm not going to buy him nothing. And I'm only going to take him to Applebee's or something, right? Even though I wanted to go to Morton Steakhouse. That's childish behavior. You know what I mean? So you should have a conversation with dude about how you felt about it and just do what you're going to do for the man, and just appreciate whatever somebody do for you. That's the way I feel about it.
That's how most reasonable dudes are. Like, most guys, especially dudes that are good dads, let's listen to this intently, ladies. Dudes that are good fathers are not pressed about Father's Day. They don't they don't wait around. Man, I can't wait till Father's Day. They don't have a wish list of stuff that they want. They don't have this. They don't expect this grand, social media event type of vibe. Man, that's for bums and deadbeats that make a big deal out of Father's Day. So anything you do for a dad that's a dad 365 days a year is extra. Buy him a bottle of liquor. Like, he's not gonna be sending us questions. Man, she only took me here for Father's Day. Like, that's something only a bum ass deadbeat would do.
Bro, look, you can give me a pair of socks, and I'm gonna be like, "Thank you, I needed some socks." You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it ain't that much, but I'm gonna still take you to Fogo de Chao if that's what I want to do. Like, I ain't gonna say, "Oh, you only bought me some socks, so now I'm gonna take you to Burger King." Like, I ain't gonna do that. That's not how I'm built. So, I think she should just chill out. Take the man. Don't listen to your friends. Her friends telling her, don't take him somewhere, whatever. Like, don't listen to your single girlfriends that will keep you single, because that's not the way to move. A quality man, now he could be a quality man, he just took you to Ruby Tuesdays, whatever. But a quality dude will cut you off for playing these types of games. So don't let your friends get you cut off by a quality dude. He might just, you know what I'm saying? Like Ruby Tuesdays.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head. That's what I was gonna say. Especially if they're single friends, man, don't listen because they'll have you single just like them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of unnecessary weight gets placed on date location and things like that, like you said earlier, Jay. And I think that's part of the problem with dating, because a quality date can happen anywhere, long as y'all one on one or y'all can have a conversation. To be honest, you can have some of the best dates going to a hole in the wall or somebody putting you on something, a taco truck or something. Like, long as the food is good or y'all and the vibe is there, because a date where y'all are enjoying yourself, you can always make a suggestion and do something else. Man, what time you got to be home? Man, it's a couple hours. You feel like swinging by Top Golf? You feel like doing this? Like, you can always suggest something to extend your time with the person. So don't make a big deal out of the restaurant that you went to. That's just, if things go right, that's just one of many places y'all will go.
Yeah, just enjoy your time with them. Enjoy your time, man, as much as possible. Make it enjoyable. Forget the food. Forget what your girlfriend say. Stop telling them all your business, man. Because what I learned, a lot of single women, they don't want their girls to be in good positions with men. They want them to stay single with them. So they tell them,
misery love company.
Yeah, man, forget that, man. Eat your Ruby Tuesday hamburger.
The closest thing to a man they got is on batteries.
the B.O.B.
Right. All right, man. It looked like we are up against the clock. We are about to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be bringing on our guest for the night, and we'll be talking about snatching her soul and different ways to please women sexually. Y'all are tuned in to the Hoe the Husband podcast, and we'll be back momentarily. Sure. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hoe the Husband podcast. Tonight we are talking about snatching her soul, and we have a special guest to come help get us right. We got my man Lou on the line, aka 100 Days of Summer from Instagram. What's going on, bro?
What up? I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Happy to be here.
Oh man,
absolutely.
Yeah, man, we enjoy the content. You know, former hoes, any sexual discussion is right up our alley. So I figured we could have an interesting conversation. And man, you found a real little interesting niche. Can you let us know a little bit about your background? You know, your age, where you're from, and how you got into what you're doing.
Okay, I'm 39. I'm from Philly. I spent half my life in Virginia, so I got like a little bit of Southern thing and a little bit of up North thing for the perfect blend.
Okay.
And as far as like the sex stuff, like the current niche that I'm in now, well, let me put it this way. At 25, I was heavy in church. I was a Christian for about 11 years. For the last 3 years, I was actually a preacher. And yeah, so that it was like
you know, 180 degrees.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, secretly, that's where you got to start at.
I was about
to say. The biggest preachers in them church, like they.
I'll say that, but yeah. So I have found that to be some of my experience as well. But what I liked about that time at the church, two things was it showed me that church was a little bit different. The last church I was in. It taught me that my belief systems can be wrong, even though I kind of have life experience facts that are based on that belief system. That it taught me that thing. And then the second thing it taught me, I became financially independent while I was at church because I wanted to have more time to spend at the church. And that taught me like marketing and stuff like that. So when I decided to try to create a type of persona or content online that allow women to, like, my first goal was to create content that allowed women to thirst publicly, right? Because there was a thing called Eggplant Friday, which was causing women to do that. And I wanted to try to harness some of that for myself. And I tried multiple different types of content. What I landed on was like almost like erotica, like sharing stories of women that I made orgasm. And what the side effect of that was women DMing me saying, well, how can I share this with my boyfriend, my husband? I never had an orgasm. I'm 35. Can you help me? And from that point on, that's where it started at.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Organic content is always the best route.
100%.
That's the opposite of clout chasing. You find something where people are coming to you, or you find out you have an area of expertise. It's kind of the same way for me and SD. I would have never thought that being a hoe and fucking a lot of hoes would give me the expertise I need to write books and, you know, become a relationship coach and all that. So it's interesting that you're able to pull your personal experiences and turn it into actual content. So are you our first OnlyFans person we done had on the show? So you busting our bubble as far as that. Can you let us know a little bit about how you got into the OnlyFans aspect of it?
Okay. When I started my thing on my 100 Days of Summer page, the whole goal was just to kind of teach a bunch of stuff that helped me find success, overcome suffering, and stuff like that. And one of the things, of course, was the sex, right? Realizing that I was doing it wrong. This is how you do it right. Now I get the life, the results that I want in my life and stuff, makes me feel better. It kind of started off kind of like as that. Oh shit, I'm sorry. The original question was what again? I'm sorry.
How you transition to OnlyFans?
Okay, right. So when I started with that content and I got to the sex part, people were telling me you should. I don't know if OnlyFans was out then, but they were telling me that I should monetize the content. And at first, my thought was if I monetize the content, then men won't buy into it. If it's for free, then men will hear it, and that's like the audience that I'm trying to change in that sense. So. But like fast forward like 2 years later, 3 months behind on rent, and I started to go into my manifestation thing, imagining who I'm supposed to be in order to be successful. And that was the idea that bubbled to the top. I tried it. I tried something else, honestly, that was safer because I didn't want to disappoint my Instagram audience. But when I tried it, my Instagram audience didn't support. Then the idea bubbled up. I tried that one, and it was twice as successful in less time than the other thing. And now here we are. I mean, people was asking me to do this a long time ago. I just didn't think. I thought monetizing it would actually stop people from buying into it, but it's the opposite. And I realized also, if a nigga don't want to spend no money on learning how to get his dick game better, he don't deserve no pussy anyway. So,
hey man,
that's real. That's real. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, gotta invest, man, in anything, not just sex.
Anything you want to be good at.
Yeah,
anything you want to be good at, you gotta want to study it and learn it. That's how you know what I'm saying. As a hoe out here and a player, like you become good at dealing with women, talking to women, sleeping with women.
That's true.
When you trying to actually learn about women. If you're gonna be selfish, you just gonna be a selfish dude that they ain't gonna want to come back to. So we get into it a little more, you know what I'm saying? I'll let Terry go ahead with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that mentality, I always got more pleasure from pleasing women. And I found that keeps the woman coming back when they're anxious to get their soul snatched or anxious to come link up with you again. And it could be just the conversations or the vibe. Like if you, in the best case scenario, it's all things. Your apartment, your crib is clean. Your food was good. You mixed some drinks. You rolled a blunt. Like all the type of things that just make a woman want to come over again. Based off your experience and the feedback that you get from women, what would you say is the key to making a woman have an orgasm?
The key is okay. So let me put it this way, because I tried a few different things. Like I tried the foreplay, and then we move into it. Then I tried to just straight cold turkey and see what happens there too. And I'll say that I think the most important thing, honestly, is anatomy. Understanding the anatomy and which parts do what in order to it's kind of because it's like it's a biological process in order to get a woman pregnant. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's really just understanding that system and then hijacking it in order to give her pleasure instead of trying to get her pregnant. You know what I mean? So I think understanding that anatomy is it'd be like if a woman thought your balls was your dick. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't work.
Right.
It just wouldn't work. You know what I mean? She'd be down there doing all this, it'd be messy and all that, and it'd be nothing happening really. You see what I'm saying? So it's like understanding the anatomy just makes the clock work the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah. For me, man, it was a comfort thing.
Mm-hmm.
Making a woman comfortable, man. When she got to my crib, I got the music playing, the old R&B, the Jodeci, the 112. I got the candles lit, and then I might cook something to eat, just making her comfortable, and then going into that, into the foreplay thing. You know what I'm saying? Where it's about her. It ain't about me. I had seen an interview that you did. I forgot who podcast. Well, they asked you, did you have a fetish or a kink or something like that? And you said, yeah, like when a woman orgasms, bruh, that's the best thing in the world. That's the best thing in the world. And I tell guys, like, yo, if you want to know how your woman likes to get head to make her come, watch her play with herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watch her play with herself to see what type of pressure she like, what type of motion she like. And then you can learn through that how to give her the type of head that'll make her orgasm. You gotta want to do these things, man.
Exactly.
Some dudes don't, but some dudes don't even like I have this theory, right? That you get the best head from people that are passionate about giving head, male or female. What are your thoughts on that theory?
I agree with that. I say the ones that are passionate and enjoy it, but also that have that inspiration because they admire you. Like I have a friend that says she sucks dick out of gratitude. Like it's nothing better than that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Hey, doctor.
Yeah.
For real. It's nothing like that. So yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. What are some common mistakes you see men make when it comes to sex or pleasing a woman?
You said common mistakes?
Yeah.
One would be not like the foreplay aspect of it, not doing enough foreplay, or as I recently learned, like thinking that just because a woman is wet, then she's ready. Because the pussy got to get filled with blood the same way a dick got to get filled with blood. So if the pussy isn't filled with blood, then she's not necessarily ready for the full-on sex. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, like a woman will say, you can't just go straight to hitting the back. You know what I mean? Like you gotta warm up. You gotta warm up the back, and the only way to do that is, well, I mean, it's a couple ways to do that, but you can stimulate the G-spots. You can eat the clit a little bit. You know, there's the mental stimulation and all that, and then the back becomes engorged to be able to be cushioned enough to receive the blows or whatever. So you know, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Never heard it. I was gonna say I never heard until I saw your page. I didn't see like you got your diagrams and the pictures and all that. Because I was the kid, like I was a pervert for real. Like I would be in like, you know, back in the day when we had encyclopedias, I'm looking up clitoris, and then it's also labia, also vulva. So I'm flipping all through the encyclopedia, learning cunnilingus and words like that I don't think the average guy was actually checking for.
Yeah.
So when I actually did start having sex, and you know that, and I would say cosmopolitan magazines, they would have, you know, you'd see them at the grocery store. They would, you know, 14 blowjob tips, and you know, 14 ways to make her come. I would be in there flipping, you know what I'm saying? Like, so,
hey,
I think you've refined it and honed it to help people a lot better. But you have to have that passion about learning how to be good at it.
Yeah. No doubt.
Absolutely, man. I learned from Booty Talk 78. That's where I learned it from. That's how I watched Booty Talk 78. I'm 17 years old. Like, so if I curve up some about a couple inches in, and then I can feel it right there. That's I study all
Booty
of that
Talk
stuff,
78.
man, because I wanted them to feel that, to feel that pleasure, man. Like a lot of dudes that I hear about from women that DM me is they rush. They rush through it to get theirs, and then it's like, hey, you didn't get yours. Like Bernie Mac said, hey, you better get yours before I get mine. And to me,
Yeah.
that's just a
That's
flawed
selfish.
mentality. The mentality for men to have, especially when you out here and you want the woman to keep coming back. So I like to attribute it to where you were talking about getting a woman ready. I like to attribute that to cooking. Before you put a turkey in the oven, the first instruction tell you to preheat the oven. You don't just go throw the turkey in the oven. You preheat it. Then you put the turkey in. So that's like women. You gotta preheat them, warm them up first before you stuff the turkey or the Vienna sausage, depending on how you rolling into the woman to make sure she's ready.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys, especially guys that don't have a lot of success with women, they're rushing the whole process. They first conversation, I'm gonna do this to you, and I'm gonna do this, and it's like, bro, if you let the conversation flow and you let it come naturally, you'll know what she likes, you'll know what she don't like, you'll know, you know what I'm saying, you know what type of vibe to set, you'll know if she want to get her back blown out on a balcony or on a couch. You know what I'm saying, like. The conversations where, you know, we from the 90s, so where you on the couch with your feet on the wall and you know what I'm saying, you on the phone, you look up, it's 1:30 a.m. type shit.
Right.
Those are the type of things that make a guy, I would say, propel a guy to number one on a woman's list. And what I mean by number one is you the number one dude she think about when that pussy get wet. And that was always my goal. Like if you can do that, even if you ain't got to be the biggest dick, you ain't got to be the best dick. But if you the one that she think about when she get horny, you gonna be her favorite dick.
That's facts. That's facts.
What's the best position for penetration to make a woman orgasm?
The best position is a form of missionary. Like missionary is the best position for it, only because it allows you to like use the ridge on the head of the dick to like stimulate the ceiling of her vagina and shit. So that's the best for that. But the best one as far as like us doing it would be like if you bring the woman to the edge of the bed, she's still on her back, bring her to the edge of the bed, put her legs back, like I'm talking about like knee by her ears type shit, put her legs back. And then you can just pretty much just go in and out for real if you wanted to. You don't have to necessarily aim or do anything specific, except not go too deep past the spot. But from that position there, it's pretty much easy because it closes the vagina up, puts all the spots in the right place so that just regular strokes hit those spots and stuff. So I've tried this over a series of different positions and different like with different people trying different, so like certain things popping out here and there that kind of showed me, okay, that's the best position, and then actually implementing that, and the results have been much quicker ever since.
All right, so I got a question. So the women that come to you like, hey, I want to be in one of your videos and all that. So you're single, you actually get to sleep with these women, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm single. By like the traditional definition, I guess you would say I'm single. And they DM me and ask me to be like volunteers in a session. So we have a session, and then we meet up. Depending on which city I'm gonna be in or whatever, we'll meet up, and then we have like our session or whatever. So it typically starts with conversation, and then moves into the actual sex act, and then it's all recorded in order to make the tutorial for the teaching and stuff.
So you done got the life hack, bro. You
do.
This boy in 2058 on these niggas.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Now is everything protected that you're doing? Do you make them go get tested, or how you?
Good question.
With that?
Yeah, if they want to do like the oral thing, then I'll have them go get tested and stuff like that. If they like some women, they'll just be like, yeah, I got tested like a couple days ago before our session, here it go, because they don't want to use condoms or whatever. So that's a little bit different. But for the most part, I just use condoms. I use the skin condoms or whatnot. So unless the person come with like a very recent full panel test, then it's gonna be condom city. So that's
I got you.
Yeah.
So do you get another question? Do you get more? I ain't gonna say that. Do you get some real dimes, like some real dimes that come in, or You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, because this is a question. This is a question
because it'd be tough for me. You know what I'm saying?
That was kind of what I was about to ask. I was gonna say
if it's a
said, do you make them send you a picture first, or how do you screen them? Okay.
I do screen in the sense. I screen mostly for energy, not necessarily appearance on some real shit. Because it's like I know from my past experiences. I had one past experience that like rocked my whole world because this person didn't fit my physical criteria as far as like what I'm attracted to at all. But sexually, after our sexual experience, anytime I walk past her house, my mouth would water. Like that's so it changed me, you know, and it's like ever since then I don't necessarily use appearance to dictate what the sexual experience would be like, you know what I mean? But I do screen. I ask them to send me a full body picture if their account is private. I ask them to send me a nude. Depending on like how far our session is off, so that I can start to develop my specific lust for them, not just a guy wanting pussy or whatever. So like I'll ask them to send me nudes and stuff for that reason. And
that's interesting. I never thought about it. I mean, I know there's anxiety, or you're anxious when you're talking to a certain chick or whatever, but I've never thought of. I guess your whole situation I never really thought about, where from the jump we're planning to have sex and you're making preparations for the sex. Like most of the time that's unspoken things that a guy's dealing with.
That's true,
yeah. What are your techniques to develop a lust for a person? Let's just say if you're not necessarily physically attractive.
I typically can always find something. I don't know if it's a skill or whatnot, but I typically can always find something where it's like that right there, that thing I really admire. I think that's uniquely sexy, and that kind of like gets the ball rolling for me. But what I need on top of that is when we finally meet up, it's like 3 or 4 hours of conversation beforehand. You know what I mean? Sometimes more than that. Sometimes we talk all the way till 12 midnight and then start the session. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, sometimes they'll be like, "Well, you ready?" And sometimes I'm not, and so they'll be like, "Well, you ready?" And then sometimes we transition into it, or we just keep talking. Organically, whenever it's the conversation I feel like is ended, then we start the session and stuff. So that's what I need on top of that.
Do you feel pressure like to perform? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't never really talked to a porn star, but this is different. Like you're not just doing it so people can watch you fuck. You're doing a tutorial. So like you're motherfucking mechanic start doing some shit and break something. that's gonna be bad for business. So do you feel any like pressure or anxiety to perform in these situations?
Let me put it this way: the pressure comes. So during my sessions, I try my hardest not to orgasm, right? Because like I need to keep that sexual energy high. Because if I got like a session today, a session tomorrow, if I come today, I won't have the same enthusiasm tomorrow and shit. So that's like a balancing act there. Because for women, a job well done for them is our orgasm. You know what I mean? So. For them, they're feeling a little unfulfilled in that aspect, especially if I'm servicing them in a way. You know what I mean? So, because you asked me, you asked me something about breaking.
Yeah, like I was just giving an example. Like if something go wrong, like if the sex ain't good, or if it don't go right, if the situation go left.
It is pressure because I was just explaining this earlier too. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be a good tutorial and entertaining at the same time. And if I get someone who comes in and they're not a moaner, then it's probably not going to be entertaining. You see what I'm saying? No one's going to have any type of feedback on what's actually happening. If they're a person that just I got a girl on my page. The only reason I really posted it, she didn't make any noise during sex. But she squirted twice. So it's like at least there's a physical, something's happening. You know what I mean? So at that right there gave at least some type of transition to like a climax for the video as far as entertainment. But So it's such a, in that sense, a numbers game that there is pressure. That's why it's like I try to do the semen retention thing so that I can make the best out of a situation. And sometimes it go left, sometimes it, it's sometimes it's not content that I can necessarily use, but I feel like that's a part of being a scientist or whatever, trying to create.
Good.
So
hey, at least you have fun trying. Go ahead.
Yeah, 100%.
I got two questions. The first one is, do you cover their faces? Do they wear a mask? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? And the other one is your worst experience that you had doing this, like the worst sexual experience you had doing.
Okay. I do use a mask. You have to blur their faces if they don't have their own OnlyFans account. If they don't have their own account, then you can't show their face. That's against the terms of service. I didn't know that when starting, but I'm glad I was already implementing that. Yeah. I'm glad I was already implementing that. So anyone that you see their face or like certain sections where you see their face or something like that, they already have an account and I've tagged them in the post. So that's a bit different. So I do cover their faces. Sometimes like if they want to do a headshot or a head scene, then I'll have them wear a mask or something like that. Then, so because I can't blur that because that's going to ruin everything. And the other thing, I'm sorry, what was the other thing?
The worst experience.
The worst experience. Okay. You know what's
made you almost quit.
You know what, yo, on some real shit, is I get discouraged with two things. And one of them I don't really want to say because I don't want women to start trying to do this thing. But I'll say this. There's some women that don't want their face recorded at all on the camera. I know that that's going to make for poor content. So if a woman comes in on that type time, it's like, you know what I mean? Because we still gonna go through with the session and shit. I still paid for the room. I still drove there, did whatever the fuck. So now I just ask the question beforehand so that I know. But what's really interesting is the one woman where I thought that she was like really anti and against it and all that, and that I didn't think she enjoyed herself. I rewatched our session today and I saw she had a good time. I sent her the links and then we had a conversation about it. And so actually what I thought was the worst is not even the worst. She had a great time. She wants to see me again. So
that's what's up. You getting that positive feedback, bro. Like people, that feedback where a chick is trying to set a second dick appointment, man, that shit, you know what I'm saying, go through, because we talk about the emotional aspect of guys, and it's not just busting a nut. It's like the whole process of meeting a chick, like those conversations, like the figuring out, like you said, the foreplay, the conversations leading up to it, like all those type of things I can remember would make me very excited about a particular experience. And each experience with a different woman, they kind of stood out, like what panties she had on, where y'all was at when it happened, so those were the things about being a hoe that made it just like addictive, and it wasn't sex is by itself is addictive, but those other aspects I think added to it.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, because I want to speak on that specifically because I found myself in the sessions, I realized something, that it would get to the point where we start the session, the girl would orgasm, and my dick would get soft. And I couldn't have sex no more after that. And I had to ask myself the reason. And it was because I had reduced sex to science. I wasn't even having sex anymore in my sessions. Like I was missing the courtship, the trying to get the number, and you know what I mean? Like that whole thing was actually what made the goal worth it. And now I had turned it into science. So I had to like really recondition myself once again to go back to actually having sex with the women as opposed to just trying to get them to orgasm. So yeah, those things, like as a man, those things, just getting the sex, it's like as if somebody just, if ducks was just falling from the sky instead of you shooting them. You know what I mean? It's not as fulfilling. It's just not as fulfilling.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to say, how does what you do now impact your regular dating life?
Yeah, it impacts it a great amount because if there was ever a time where I appreciated women for the human beings that they are, as opposed to the sexual objects, it is now, because it's like there's a plethora of sex, you know what I mean? So when I'm with the people that I want to be around, I don't want to have sex, but they're when they're around me, they want to have sex because for them, that's the fulfillment of us being together. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the experience. And for me, it's kind of become work. Like even when I'm with them, it's like I want to make you come. So it's still like the same thing. It's not as sex for me isn't necessarily about busting a nut anymore. So it's changed that whole dynamic. So now I really appreciate women for who the fuck they are. Even though I did before, but I'm even further. You know what I mean? Because it's like it really is a plethora of sex, and it's not as valuable as it once was. So now it's the character of the people. It's like, are they basically, I put it this way now, because we got the whole thing about masculine women and stuff. It's like now for me, is that woman a gift? Like is her way of being, her mindset, lifestyle a gift to me? You know what I mean? As opposed to just sex.
Okay.
That's real. It's ironic, the unexpected consequences and stuff, I guess.
For real.
This is interesting, man. We've had some female sex experts, and they kind of give that different perspective, but your shit is much more relatable, obviously, from you being a man, and then just what you're doing. Like come try to pipe out. You know what I'm saying? Like like that whole marketing scheme is really lit. Because I remember a couple years ago. I recorded a pussy eating tutorial. I had bought some fruit and I was, giving my little tips on pussy eating. But my wife wouldn't let me put it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, I get it. I understand. So that's why I was asking. I was gonna say, how can you date somebody, or how do women respond to knowing that you're gonna be constantly getting dick DMs? You know what I'm saying? Or do you ever, would you give it up for a serious relationship?
Nah, I'm honestly not looking to be in a serious relationship, to be honest with you. Yeah, like the way that I look at shit, I'm married to my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I cheat on my purpose with women every now and then, but I'm married to my purpose. Like that's what brings me the most fulfillment in any relationship I've ever been in. Even with the person that I feel like God had for me, I love my purpose more than being in a relationship with that person on some real shit. So I try to operate like Paul. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I try to operate like Paul, where he's like, if you got a wife, then you got to take care of your wife and, make sure she's happy and shit. But if you single, it's just all God. You just fuck, you know what I mean? So my purpose is that.
That's Paul, one of your boys? Paul, one of your boys, or you talking about like the Bible, Paul?
Oh, Paul, one of your boys.
You done brought the Bible in there with Paul.
Damn.
Oh my.
All right, man. It look like we are up against the clock, bro. Before we get up out of here, can you let everybody know where they can get your content, where these ladies can get the tutorials, and the ladies that want to get that pipe can get the egg?
All right. Anywhere on social media, if you look up 100 Days of Summer, that's with one N, HUNIT, 100 Days of Summer. If you look that up anywhere on social media, you'll find me. And that typically links you to where I do the tutorials and stuff, which is The Stroke Genius. If you Google or YouTube The Stroke Genius, you'll find that content as well. But OnlyFans, The Stroke Genius is where my tutorials are. DM me on Instagram if you'd like to be a volunteer.
That's what's up, man. Fellas,
ladies, real quick, ladies. Don't want to be on camera, you go to the whole
you're a fool, boy.
Man, this been lit, bro. Before we get up out it, man, before we go, man, I want to give a shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background music. I want to remind y'all can donate to the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. Lou, bro, we can definitely have you on again. I really enjoy the conversation, man. I enjoy the content. And Jay, SD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up with me so we can get this done, man. This has been another episode of the Hold a Husband podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey.
Peace.